networkers, and welcome back to another episode for Ask Network Engineer. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and to check out all the videos in the playlist on this channel. If you have any questions about being a network engineer, make sure to post those questions at routehub.net/ANE. Okay, let's get down to this episode, and the topic or the question that was posted is the following. Is the CCIE still relevant in the age of automation? Ooh, gives me goosebumps. Okay, let's talk about this for a few minutes. So first things first, when we talk about the CCIE or the CCNP or the CCNA, okay, any certification that is out there, certifications are not required. They're optional, right? And we typically do certifications because it will better our chances with opportunities. That's really the essence of what certifications are. As I talked about in a different previous episode, when we talk about the exam dumps, I said that the certifications were really a baseline that companies could use to hire engineers at different skill sets or at different levels. That's really what the certification process was. It also was a way of providing something that is equivalent to going to college and getting a college degree. This was kind of the somewhat equivalent of that, of having a credential that you can have of some kind of a verified, established education that can complement your experience. That's the key thing. You can have the education, but you gotta have the experience. Okay, so it's important that I kind of mention all of that. That certifications, they're optional, but they are good because it can enhance your opportunity endeavors that are out there. Okay, so is the CCIE relevant in the age of automation? Well, let's take a step back for a second. When we talk about automation in terms of our field, because there's different automation in different sectors as well, right? We talk about automation that is happening in terms of like with restaurants. For example, sometimes I go to McDonald's sometimes, and they have these kiosks, these touchscreen kiosk machines. You can kind of just go up there, place your order, and pay for it, and there it is. You can get your food that way. I can also do it directly from my cell phone and order the food there. So that is a form of automation that is leading towards automation, okay? But that's a little different from what we would do, right? Including like drone technologies of Amazon using drones to do deliveries. That's still, I think that's been out there for a couple of years, that conversation. Or other kind of automation type things. Automated cars, which is something I think is very fascinating. But in our particular field, when we talk about automation, we're talking about network programmability. With network automation, like with Ansible. You're talking about a solution, which really is a mixture of programming and using network APIs. And this means that I can have a program script, an application that I can program, like using Python, which is very, very popular, that can perform a lot of automated tasks of configuring a set of routers and switches based on parameter that you specify about your network, your VLANs, things like that. And that's why we have a lot of particular training on our particular website that is focused on network programmability and network automation. So we have Ansible. Ansible is a very popular, very robust, it is really a massive beast. Fantastic, not hard to learn by the way, but that provides the network automation. And in that particular training course, we show you how to get it set up and how we have a network topology and how we can configure that network for a wide variety of technologies. So definitely check that out to get more of an understanding and experience with network automation. And of course, we have our network programmability course, which focuses on a lot of the network APIs. Okay, so the question is the CCIE relevant in the age of automation? Okay, so here's the key thing to understand. The CCIE or any of the certification tracks, so we'll say the Cisco certifications moving forward. For any of the Cisco certifications, they have always changed during the decades based on the current technologies and based on the current age of networking that we are in. That has always happened. And very recently, for example, Cisco introduced officially another career certification track, which is with DevNet. That is with the network DevOps track of network programmability and with network automation. So those are more for the CCNA track, and I think a little bit going into the CCNP. But there's nothing yet for the CCIE, but it is just a matter of time where it will officially be included as something that you can get certified in. So is the CCIE relevant? Well, it is if you pursue the certification track for DevOps. And that's really the answer around that. Now, routing and switching, let's say that you're starting out with networking and you got your CCNA, you got your CCNP, and now you're like, wait a second. Okay, so do I do CCIE for routing and switching or for Net DevOps? Let's assume that is out when you're making that decision. Do I do routing and switching or do I do Net DevOps? Okay, so that will really depend on what is your current job now. That is really important. If your job is you're doing a lot of routing and switching, that means you are working like in a service provider environment. Like my experience, I've worked in a lot of heavy routing and switching environments, heavy with BGP, heavy with OSPF for hundreds and hundreds of locations, including EIGRP, depending on the customer and the equipment that they actually have, right? So my bulk of my experience is really heavy on the routing and switching because of the environments I have worked in. So if your environment, if your working environment, because remember, if you are a CCIE or if you are looking at becoming a CCIE, that means that you have some kind of networking experience today and the responsibilities of whatever it might be. It might be security related, it might be network or routing and switching related. So whatever that you're really working on a lot and what you have interest in, hopefully, you probably want to go ahead and do that particular track because it will benefit you a lot more for those opportunities. Because there's still a lot of companies that are looking for people that are CCIE just with routing and switching or with security. So those demands are still there with the experience that you have. That's critical. Certification is good, but the experience is what completes the package. So always keep that in mind, okay? But if you are doing a lot of routing and switching, or maybe just a little bit of it, but you are doing a lot more programming, more programmability, more network automation, those are things that you are doing in your job, I would definitely recommend going towards that CCIE Net DevOps track, right? You could potentially do both. You can do routing and switching and the Net DevOps, and that makes it a very powerful weapon. Not required, because I don't see myself even pursuing that other CCIE certification, but more ammunition you have in your tool belt presents a lot more opportunities. So you can kind of keep many of those factors in mind, is what I'm saying. Is that you don't have to do the routing and switching. You can go directly into this new Net DevOps CCIE certification, do that, master it, because that's going to get you directly into that path of network programmability and network automation. I also want to kind of keep in mind about the job market, that I might be certified in this, but what is the jobs today? Like what kind of jobs today are looking for people that are DevOps, that sort of thing? Like, is there a particular requirement for that? And if I see a lot of opportunities for that, then yes, absolutely, I want to pursue that certification because with my experience and that certification, it will make those opportunities a lot better to obtain. A lot of different things to keep in mind, but I would not say it is not, so I would never say that the CCIE is not relevant in today's age of automation. will say it depends on which track that you're going to do. And of course, keeping in mind of opportunities that you want to pursue today and building up to the future of what your career will be. And that is it. So great question. Thank you so much for posting that. And if you have any questions about a network engineer or anything in the networking field, off topic, whatever, post those at routehub.net/ANE. Thank you for watching this video. And until next time, as always, keep networking.